First, I want to thank GNO People for Profit for introducing the Misuse of Drugs Cannabis Regulation Bill 2022. I welcome this bill. I will be supporting it. I also welcome the Citizens' Assembly on Drugs Use report released last week. The Citizens' Assembly report has given the government a mandate to move this country's national drug policy away from a focus of punishment and criminalisation and in line with international best practice towards a health and community-led approach and decriminalisation. What is clear from the 36 recommendations the Assembly has made is that there is an acceptance that the current approach isn't working. It doesn't work for reducing drug use, it doesn't work for the communities affected by drug use. The policies of prohibition and punishment compound the effects that addiction and drug misuse have on individuals and communities. The report accepts that drug misuse is not a single issue, it's not about a justice issue, it is a complex issue that works in conjunction with other health and socio-economic issues. I welcome the recommendations in the report that reflects this and calls for a wider socio-economic approach. Drug misuse and addiction must only be treated when it is approached in a way that recognises this complexity and intervenes in all aspects, including the health, social, economic and community factors. This is a simple bill. It's not calling for the legalisation of cannabis. It does not decriminalise cannabis. It simply removes the onus to prosecute someone for holding a small amount of cannabis for personal use. There's no need to criminalise someone over 7 grams of cannabis, no need for a prison sentence, or for someone's current or future employment or housing situation to be put at risk. The bill is exactly what the Citizens' Assembly is calling for, to move away from harsh treatment of minor drug possession and target the real problems that underlie drug misuse. We do not need the government's motion to kick this can down the road for 9 months. Anyone who has read the Citizens' Assembly report will tell you this bill clearly follows their recommendations. Prosecuting someone for holding up to 7 grams of cannabis does not target the gangs important and selling drugs. It doesn't end the poverty or deprivation, which underlines much drug misuse. It does nothing for mental health supports. It doesn't help communities. It doesn't help families dealing with drug misuse. It doesn't even stop drug misuse. I would just like to add, in reaction to the Minister's reply earlier in the debate, increasing funding for drug treatment is great, but if you have any interest in ending drug misuse, what we need is to target the reasons why people end up misusing drugs or with problems with addiction in the first place. We have a CAM system falling apart, no real adult mental health system to talk of, a housing system that is causing mass immiseration. In 2022, we had a poverty rate of 13.1%, or over 650,000 people. These are the issues we need to be tackling. The government is failing on basic living standards in this country, from housing to wages to health and mental health. These are the issues that underline huge amounts of drug misuse and addiction, and that is what the Citizens' Assembly means when they talk about a wider socio-economic strategy. Real improvements to people's lives and the supports they have to access. This bill should be the first step in moving the decriminalisation of all drugs for personal use, just like the Citizens' Assembly has called for. That approach needs to be accompanied by a health and community-led national drug policy. We need a committee headed by the Taoiseach to oversee this move. And is the government supporting that recommendation from the Citizens' Assembly?